The greasy spoon diner smelled of burnt coffee and desperation, a familiar scent that momentarily tethered Elias to something real. Rain lashed against the windows, blurring the neon sign that flickered intermittently, casting long, distorted shadows across the cracked linoleum floor. He hadn't slept properly in weeks, not since Blackwood. The word itself tasted like ash in his mouth. "You look like you've seen a ghost, Elias," a voice rasped. He turned to see Mr. Silas, his face etched with worry lines deeper than Elias remembered. Silas was frail, his movements slow and deliberate, yet a surprising strength seemed to radiate from him, a hidden reservoir of resilience. "I feel wrong, Silas," Elias said, his voice trembling. "Like something's inside me." A cold tremor seized his body, a chilling echo of the unnatural stillness he's felt within Blackwood Estate. "My hands, they shake." Silas nodded grimly. "The harmony leaves its mark, Elias. Blackwood's work, it's insidious. It clings." He placed a calloused hand on Elias's forearm, a brief, comforting gesture. "We need to return to the estate." Elias recoiled slightly. "I don't want to go back." Those memories, he trailed off, unable to articulate the horrors he's witnessed, the fragmented whispers that now haunted his waking moments. "There's no avoiding it, Elias. The caretaker, he's accelerating his plans. The harmony must be contained." Silas's voice was low, urgent. "He suspects my presence and yours." A packard, a long black limousine, waited in the rain-swept parking lot. Its polished exterior reflected the distorted neon light, a stark contrast to the grim reality that awaited them. As they drove, the rain intensified, blurring the already desolate landscape. Elias stared out the window, the passing scenery dissolving into a swirling vortex of anxiety. What was Blackwood trying to achieve, Silas? "What asterisk is asterisk the harmony?" Elias asked, desperation clinging to his words. Silas hesitated. Blackwood believed he could transcend human limitations. Elias. He sought to create a perfect world, free from suffering, free from imperfection. He believed consciousness could be refined, perfected, but at what cost? Elias pressed. All those faces in the circular chamber. Silas's gaze turned distant. He sought to harness the power of collective consciousness. Elias. To merge it, to distill it into something new. The packard turned onto the long, winding driveway leading to Blackwood Estate. The house loomed in the distance, a Gothic monstrosity shrouded in an unnatural mist. The silence was oppressive, broken only by the rhythmic drumming of rain on the roof of the car. As they approached the main house, Elias felt a strange pull, a magnetic force drawing him towards the darkness within. He reached out, his fingers brushing against the cold metal of the car door. The reflection staring back at him wasn't entirely his own. A subtle distortion, a fleeting glimpse of something else. "The caretaker is preparing something," Silas murmured, his voice tight with apprehension. "A ritual, something to strengthen the harmony." They entered the main house, the air heavy with the scent of dust and decay. The grand foyer was dimly lit by flickering sconces, casting long dancing shadows across the walls. A grand staircase ascended to the upper floors, disappearing into the gloom. "The music box," Silas said, his voice barely audible. "He will use it to amplify the harmony's reach." They descended into the circular chamber. The portraits on the walls seemed to watch them, their eyes filled with an unsettling mixture of sorrow and malice. In the center of the room, the music box sat on a pedestal, bathed in an eerie green light. Suddenly, a voice boomed from the shadows. "Silas, you dare trespass again?" The caretaker emerged, his face contorted in a mask of fanaticism. He was a towering figure, his presence radiating an almost palpable sense of menace. "You cannot restore the harmony, caretaker," Silas retorted, his voice surprisingly steady. "The harmony asterisk is asterisk restoration, Silas," the caretaker sneered. "A perfect world, free from the chaos of humanity." The caretaker lunged at Silas, but Elias found himself stepping forward, an unexpected surge of strength coursing through his veins. He felt connected, somehow, to the darkness within the chamber. The music box seemed to pulsate with an energy that resonated deep within his soul. "Leave him be," Elias said, his voice echoing with an unfamiliar authority. He didn't understand where it came from. The caretaker turned his gaze upon Elias, his eyes burning with cold contempt. "You are already one of us, Elias. You cannot deny your destiny." As the caretaker advanced, the music box began to play. The discordant melody filled the chamber, twisting and warping Elias's perception of reality. He saw flashes of images, fragmented memories of faces, voices, a kaleidoscope of suffering and despair. He saw the fragmented woman screaming, trapped within the harmony, desperate for release. "He is drawing power from the music box," Silas shouted, struggling to maintain his footing. Elias felt himself drawn towards the music box, an irresistible urge to touch it, to embrace the darkness within. He looked at Silas, pleading for help, but Silas's face was obscured by the swirling chaos. He reached for the box, his fingers brushing against its cool, polished surface. The chamber began to spin. The faces in the portraits dissolved into a swirling vortex of color. The music intensified, resonating with a primal force that threatened to shatter his sanity. He saw himself, reflected in the polished surface of the music box, but the reflection wasn't quite right. It was him, but different. Something darker, something more powerful. Then everything went black. He awoke to the sound of rain, the scent of dust and decay. He was lying on the cobblestone floor of a circular chamber, the music box silent, the room plunged into darkness. Silas was nowhere to be seen. He was alone. He staggered to his feet, his body trembling, his mind reeling. He looked at his hands, his reflection in a shard of broken mirror. They were his, but they felt alien. He felt a subtle shift within himself, a growing awareness of something vast and ancient, something that lay dormant within his soul. He looked up at the walls. The portrait seemed to be watching him, their eyes filled with a knowing, almost pitying gaze. He heard a voice, a whisper in the shadows. "You are one of us now, Elias. The harmony awaits." He turned to see a figure emerge from the darkness. It was the caretaker, his face illuminated by the eerie green glow of the music box. "Welcome, Elias," the caretaker said, his voice dripping with sinister satisfaction. "Your journey has just begun.